this very place, seemingly in the middle of nowhere, a potentially horrible disaster could have taken place. But a set of heroic actions, a sizable portion of luck, as well as the one time the train delays were a blessing, saved the lives of hundreds of people. This video is about the averted train disaster near Baltamiškis in Lithuania. On an early November morning in 1994, two trains were traveling on the heavily used railway corridor between Vilnius and Kaunas. From the east came the international transit train from St. Petersburg towards the Russian exclave Kaliningrad, on board around 600 passengers. From the west came the domestic train from the coastal city of Klaipėda to Vilnius, on board around 260 passengers. Both trains happened to be slightly delayed, but only for a few minutes, which is, given the long distances that these trains cover, not too bad. But on this day, it was not going to be a routine trip. On their route, the trains have to cross a bridge over the small river Brajuole. But just before the trains would arrive at the bridge was blown up. The track in the direction of Vilnius was heavily damaged, whereas the track in the direction of Kaunas only suffered little damage. Given that these trains often pass each other at the bridge, it could have been a horrible disaster regardless, if not for an alert elderly lady. She heard the blast of the bomb and quickly realized where it was, the railway bridge. On her age, she has lived through the horrors of the Second World War and therefore recognized the sound. She quickly alerted her grandson and neighbors. They aimed to slow down and stop the soon-to-be arriving trains. The train St. Petersburg-Kaliningrad was approaching first. It slowed down, but this train could not stop in time. By sheer chance of luck, it crossed safely on the side of the bridge that was not heavily damaged. The train driver immediately contacted the next station, which is Vievis, to inform about the heavily damaged bridge. The train from Klaipėda to Vilnius stopped just in time, a mere few hundred meters before the bridge. If this train would not have been alerted in time, the consequences would have been horrendous. This train would have been on the heavily destroyed side of the bridge. The alertness of this old lady and the help of her grandson and neighbors have saved many lives. For their heroic actions, they have been granted the life-saving cross by the Lithuanian president. As for the culprit of this terrorism, sadly, no one has ever ended up in jail. So you see, sometimes there are narrow escapes. And sometimes there are moments where you end up in events where the fate of hundreds of lives is changed by an alert old lady living in the middle of the forest. She stepped up to be the hero. Thank you for watching.